Some people think it's a myth. And today we've got Master Sommelier Carlos Santos here to debunk or prove a point. Does a Demi bottle of wine, 375 mils, or a standard bottle of wine, 750 mils, or a Magnum 1.5 litre taste different and change the aging process? It's the same wine produced by the same producer in two examples of the same vintage, 2005, but with potentially two different outcomes. We're excited about this episode of Got Some. Welcome back. I'm Angus O'Loughlin. Carlos Santos, take it away as we get prepared to try a 2005 Lake Folly Cabernet in a Riedel Cabernet glass.
Very, very interesting, and not very often you have the opportunity to do this experience. So I think it's pretty cool. Of course, the Magnum, it's a different vintage and we're not going to open it. And I think I'll play the joke. It's not my joke, but it's a nice joke. A Magnum size is a perfect size bottle for two people when one is not drinking. So
nice.
That's my kind of bottle. It's interesting how the 375, it's obviously a smaller bottle, is a perfect size. If you are on a weekend and you don't feel like drinking like a full bottle, a half bottle 375 will be 2 glasses. So that's fine. That's perfect.
Can I stop you there?
Yeah.
And thank you to everyone who follows us on Instagram at Gotsom, because we asked this exact question. I opened up this half bottle because I got 2 bottles at grays.com at auction. And I asked, what is the reason you're buying a half bottle, 375 mils, and here's some of the answers. I love a half bottle when I'm by myself. Simple, and I feel that as well, especially when it comes to champagne. Now, my mum, when I was growing up, chucked a teaspoon in the top of it, hoping that the bubbles would remain inside. Scientifically, that is being proven not to be correct. But yeah, who wants to get through a whole bottle of champagne and it's not going to be as bubbly and great the next day?
Sure.
A half bottle cures that. I love a half bottle when I'm out for dinner. It means I can try a few different wines with my partner.
Yeah.
And I can try them over different courses. I actually saw a really interesting Instagram reel the other day, which I really appreciated. It was this older guy, looked quite, well done and put together well. And he said, nobody should ever be picking wines from the moment they sit down at a restaurant. If you're going to pick a wine, you should be ordering a Prosecco, a Cava, or a Champagne, because that's a celebration or a welcome drink.
Yeah.
But you should wait until you've ordered the food before picking the wines. How do you feel about that?
Well, yes, but by that time, if the restaurant is very busy, good luck getting the wine on time before you end the dish. If the point is to taste the food first before you choose the wine, good luck. You need to have a waiter or sommelier right there as soon as you have the first couple of mouthfuls. Otherwise, you're going to end up the dish before it gets cold and you don't have the wine, right? I mean, yes, it's a great. In
theory.
In theory, it's fantastic for sure. And in theory, I agree 100%.
But if you are in practicality?
No, if you go to a restaurant, it's difficult.
And my favorite comment, because I think this one kind of hits exactly the ballpark for me.
But then again, sorry, there's no rules. By all means, you do whatever you like.
Of course. Shalissa_G said, as I often drink by myself, I don't want to drink a whole bottle of the wine, and the buy the glass options are so limiting. To be able to start with a glass of champagne or a matched white for the first course and move into an excellent half bottle is fantastic.
Yeah.
So there is definitely a lot of passionate people for the half bottle or the Demi bottle, but I want to know...
Yeah.
What's the difference? We've got 2 2005 Lake Folly Cabernets, same producer, same conditions, same vintage. Everything's the same. Are these going to be 2 different bottles?
They should be technically the same. I mean, the point is aging and I guess quality. The aging process will be slower on the bigger bottle than it is on the smaller bottle. And
so you think that's true?
I think it's true because the ratio of oxygen between the wine and the cork, it's almost the same in the 3 bottles, which means that the process of aging in a bigger bottle with more wine is much slower than on a smaller bottle with almost the same amount of oxygen in less quantity of wine. In terms of quality, look, it really depends. I mean, if fits under the screw top, they will be a lot closer to each other.
Okay, that's true, isn't it? Because the cork really, it's a fine amount of oxygen that will be seeping through the natural cork to get into the bottle, whereas a screw cap, you're not getting anything inside.
I would say that in the screw tops, they are a much more similar aging ratio. But I think in a natural cork where the cork breathes through, like our skin, then I think over the years, you should be able to taste the difference.
As Carlos has said, we're not opening up the 2023 Lake Folly Cabernet. The Magnum actually had just been released. They actually rushed it to us. I bought it off them. And they were like, we'll get this to you in 3 weeks. I was like, oh gosh, sorry. I need this by Wednesday. And they're like, oh, it's not out till next week. So that's the brand new release. There's no point in opening that wine.
Amazing.
We wouldn't be doing it justice to it.
No, definitely not.
But I am so excited for the the Demi, the 375 and the standard bottle for us to try. We haven't tried it yet side by side. Carlos, how do you want us to assess this differently?
We will try first the 375. They have exactly the same blend. So Cabernet Sauvignon 68%, Petit Verdot 13%, Merlot 11%. And then the odd one from the Bordeaux varietals, Shiraz, 8%. I think there's also something to take in consideration. Like for people that send the messages and that enjoy half bottles of wine, I think that's great. I don't think every single producer produce half bottles. More producers probably produce the magnums, the larger formats. I think the magnums makes more justice probably to the wine, especially if it's a higher, Grand Cru vineyard that you want to age for a lot longer. Then I think a Magnum is perfect because you want that slow process of aging.
Yeah.
So I think for higher quality, for very special vineyards, for small lots, I think Magnum is perfect.
And Maxi Riedel, if you would like to share one of the many Magnums and bigger Jeroboams of aged Bordeaux that you seem to share on your Instagram, we are here in Australia waiting for you to come back. And you'll be welcomed.
Yeah, the decanters are fantastic. Then the half bottle, of course, 375. I wouldn't say that the highest quality wines are, or at least all of them, are in a small bottle.
Interesting. I didn't even think about that. So Carlos, in a nice way, is saying if you've got a really premium wine, DRC is not going to put a Demi bottle because they expect you to age their wines to a certain point off what you've exactly said. Cork being like skin, consistently breathing, even in minute detail, you're going to have a different aging process that they can't control as well as they can the standard bottle.
Yeah, on the Magnum. Yeah,
I didn't think about that. Or even, and Magnum, particularly, but certainly the standard bottle. So you're saying the Demi is a bit more dramatic in its aging transformation.
Well, I mean, it's probably faster. Yes, I mean, you have a wine ready to drink earlier, but when you drink a bottle of wine, of that quality, super premium, you want it. You take the patience. It's the reward of patience, right? As they call it.
If I'm having a DRC and I've got the option of a half bottle and a full bottle, I'd prefer to have the standard bottle of wine.
Of course.
And the Magnum if possible.
Of course. Especially if the partner is not drinking, right?
Well, we're having a Lake Folly Cabernet, Hunter's Valley. I've backed this Cabernet in for such a long time. I would say in Australia, it's my favourite Cabernet. That's when I had the chance to buy it at grays.com at auction. Something quite funny is these are two different auctions. So I bought the 2005. No good?
Delicious. Why?
Oh, your face was looking like...
No, it's delicious.
Oh, shit.
Really,
I thought that was your...
I'm so impressed. Like, I was still so lively. Still so plummy. And...
it's great Cabernet. I mean, to be fair, you're in my peripheral, so I was looking at the camera. I picked up the half bottle at $50 a bottle, and I picked up the standard bottle at $100 a bottle, which is below retail with 20 years of age. And Carlos Santos, a master som, is making near... 50 Shades of Grey style facials. I shouldn't say facials. Face reactions to the glasses. This is good Cabernet, right?
Yeah, really good. Really, really good. I mean, Lake's Folly is a very historical vineyard. I think they only produce like 12 hectares. And I think it's still considered one of the first boutique wineries in Australia.
I just love what they're doing. And maybe it's just because I'm Australian and I've grown up drinking Australian wines and whatever, but this is my, baseball bat out the park. If I'm going to show off to somebody from Bordeaux an Australian Cabernet, I'm giving them an aged Lake Follies, and I think they'd be impressed. This isn't about Lake Follies, though. This is about the difference between these two in front of us. A 375 ml sits to my left. On the nose, Carlos, what do you assess that could be different from the 750 ml if you were to do a blind tasting?
I think it's really, really hard to differentiate in these particular two bottles. I think they've been kept really, really well, which is also very, very important. Obviously, storage, especially from auction and stuff. So big shout to grays.com. I think they're very, very similar. I probably pick on the standard bottle on 750. A slight more green, not that is a bad thing, but slight more pyrazine. Not quite as developed yet. I think on the glass on the right, it feels already smoother. Maybe we should have done this differently and do a blind tasting. We're not knowing which one is which, and then try to see which one is more developed. But I do think that slight green leafy, slight more bell pepper on the glass on the right, while on the left, it feels smoother all around.
There's a guy working here at the office.
Oh, good.
Should I go and ask him to do a blind tasting?
Yeah. Hello, how's it going? Hey, I'm Carlos. Paul. So basically the idea is that you taste both glasses. So one of the glasses is from the small bottle, another glass is from the bigger bottle, from the normal size, from the standard size bottle.
Okay, this will be super interesting. Is there one you want me to start with? Or?
If you don't want to drink, this is just what you can spit.
No, it's all right.
Yeah,
Give it a go.
it's quite delicious.
Smells good. That's very, very nice. Very smooth.
Good. Smooth. Okay.
Yes.
To pick any particular flavors?
It's quite fruity.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't say there's any very specific flavors.
Sure.
I'm definitely not a connoisseur. So
No,
I'm probably a
that's-
great person
you're doing
to
great.
ask.
You're doing
Like, the things that I don't like about a lot of wines is when they have that very kind of peppery taste. And this
Peppery?
one's-
Okay.
Yeah, this is very nice and smooth.
Mm-hmm.
Very fruity.
You don't pick that much peppery on that wine, no?
No, not at all. Not at all. Hi, Jack. Sorry, the dog has just entered the scene. Come over here. Go back over there. Right. I feel like I can taste a very subtle difference.
Okay.
It's very subtle, but I do feel like the second
Yeah.
one to me does taste like just slightly stronger in terms
Okay.
of it's not quite as fruity as the first one.
Well, I had the same impression. I did think that the standard bottle is a bit richer or a bit, how'd you say?
So the standard was the one
Yeah.
that tasted a bit stronger.
A bit stronger, yeah. I had the
less
same
fruity.
impression. I
Yeah.
thought that it was a bit greenier, a bit richer. It's not a bad thing. It just means the process of aging is slower. Now, you said as well that on the glass on the left, you find it less fruity or less
Yes.
fruity. Okay. Typically, wines from the smaller bottle would feel less fruitier. Why? Because they're going on to a tertiary aroma. So perhaps, you're either picking different aromas. Obviously, you're not a wine expert by any means, but you love
Very
wine
much so.
and you did a really good job. Typically, wines from the smaller bottle should feel less fruitier at the earlier stage because obviously they go through the development of maturation faster. Typically, of course. And I did feel the same difference as you that the standard bottle, it feels a bit richer, it feels a bit more generous still, meaning I think it's still going through the age of process. And this is 20-year-old. That was perfect. That was really good. That was a great exercise.
And I'm back. How good's Paul?
Yeah, very good. He did. He did very well. I mean, for someone that he's not a wine taster, he's not a wine drinker, he's not a wine student. He's just someone random that we pick from an office. So a really good job.
I should also say a big shout out to the Commons. I work out of the Commons. It's a co-working space. We have our own studio within it. But we've been able to just go outside. Like, it is Easter long weekend. It's the Friday. Paul's the only person in the office. I went out there sporadically and was like, hey, Paul, do you want to come to podcast? He's like, yeah.
Other than us, hardworking guy, yeah.
Yeah, that's true. And then the other one, the Sauvignon Blanc episode, the wonderful women who were on the start of the episode talking about their dislike of the grape style, all from our office. So
Nice.
Pretty cool to be around people who are willing to get creative. So big thanks to Paul. 375 mil and 750 mil. There is definitely a difference. And you're right. I think it's this kind of vegetal Parisine is good. Like
not in a bad way.
No, absolutely not.
Yeah.
It feels like this. Here's a good way, I think, of assessing it. This is drinking so well right now, 375 mils, as is the 750. But I think the 750 hasn't even reached that top of the hill yet, where I think the Demi bottle still has probably at the peak and not too far by going off.
Yeah.
In my opinion.
Yeah.
This could probably age for a lot longer than that.
Yeah, that's right. I think that's exactly the point. The half bottle is ready to drink now. Not saying that is better or worse.
Yeah.
The standard bottle is perfect to drink and it will keep developing even more.
Yeah.
So
I think in 5 years' time, it'll probably be at where this half bottle is at.
Yeah.
It just
likely,
gives you longer time in the fridge.
Correct. At the right
Do we
storage.
both agree?
I think at the moment I would really enjoy this half bottle.
Me too.
Not saying that if someone puts a bottle of the Lakes Folly standard in front of me that I would be picky. I won't. I will enjoy it. But right now, this 05 from a half bottle is
Drinking really well.
It's drinking good, yeah.
Thank you so much for watching this episode of Got Some. As always, if you're not following us, you're missing every episode that we drop. And I think, Carlos, we're going to make a little bit of an announcement here. We're going to start dropping on Thursdays instead of Fridays.
Oh.
Yeah.
That
So-
means even better, earlier in the week.
Earlier in the
Means
week
we
gives
get
you a bit
it.
more time, another day to get that bottle of wine so you can enjoy it on the weekend. So we are now dropping on Thursday mornings at 5 a.m. for the podcast. So there's a little update. But if you're not following us, click a button if you're listening to this on Apple, Spotify, and the like, or subscribe if you're watching this on YouTube, and follow us on Instagram and TikTok. All the links are in the show notes. I'm going to cheers you with the 350ml, my friend. Beautiful
Cheers.
Riedel Cabernet glass. So wood.
So